Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. One such story is that of the 1997 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin, a copper-plated steel marvel that has now stirred the imaginations of numismatists and collectors around the globe. This tiny, everyday coin, once casually exchanged for gum or a bus ride, has become the subject of global fascination, valued at a staggering $28 million. It was the year 1997. The world was on the cusp of a digital revolution. Princess Diana was still the people's princess, and the United Kingdom's coinage system quietly continued as it had for decades. Within this mundane stream of coins, a batch of 2 pence pieces were minted, bearing the iconic profile of Queen Elizabeth II. At first glance, there was nothing extraordinary about them. Yet, over the years, whispers began to circulate among numismatists and sharp-eyed collectors. There was something special about a certain number of these 1,997 coins, something rare, something valuable. To understand the true allure of this coin, we must journey into its very core, both literally and historically. Since its first issuance in 1971, the 2 pence coin has carried significance in the decimalization of British currency. By 1992, the Royal Mint transitioned from bronze to copper-plated steel due to rising metal costs. This change would influence not only the coin's physical properties but also the way collectors evaluated it. The 1997 issue, struck in copper-plated steel, bore the familiar design. On the obverse, the regal image of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, crafted by Raphael Makloff, a respected sculptor whose initials RDM can be found just under the Queen's neck. Her Majesty is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, an image so iconic it feels as if the coin itself is a miniature portrait gallery piece. The reverse features the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet with the motto, Ich diene, which means, I serve. This design has remained constant for decades, evoking a sense of royal heritage and continuity. While millions of 2 pence coins were minted in 1997, a tiny, unknown quantity emerged with subtle but crucial differences. Some were struck with experimental dies. Others showed evidence of off-metal errors, and a few had mismatched characteristics, such as unusual planchet compositions or faint doubled dies. These anomalies, initially dismissed as mundane errors, would become the seeds of one of the most compelling coin stories of the modern era. One particular coin from this batch caught the eye of a dedicated collector during a casual coin roll hunt. At first, he was drawn to its almost mirror-like finish, uncommon for circulation coins. Upon closer inspection, the weight was slightly off. Further tests revealed that the coin had an unusually high nickel content for a piece that should have been copper-plated steel. Was it struck on the wrong blank? Had there been a mistake at the Royal Mint? What followed was a cascade of investigations, metallurgical analyses, and expert appraisals. It didn't take long for coin experts to realize that they were staring at a genuine numismatic anomaly, a mint error so rare that its value couldn't be defined by previous market trends. The coin's condition, too, was exceptional. Despite being nearly 3 decades old, it retained much of its original luster and bore minimal signs of circulation. To a collector, such preservation speaks volumes, suggesting that this coin had, by pure luck or design, escaped the wear and tear of everyday commerce. Auction houses began to take notice. When the first of these era coins reached the auction floor, the bids were modest at first. But as its backstory unraveled, the coin's profile rose dramatically. Major private collectors, particularly from Asia and the Middle East, began bidding wars. One such coin eventually sold for an astonishing amount, just shy of $2 million. Yet, that was only the beginning. As demand surged, so did the searches. People across the UK, and soon the world, began checking their piggy banks, jars, and drawers. Could they have one of these mysterious 1997 2 pence coins? The frenzy that followed was unlike anything the British numismatic world had seen in decades. Numismatic forums buzzed. Coin grading agencies reported a spike in submissions. Even the Royal Mint was prompted to make a statement, acknowledging that minor anomalies in the minting process might have occurred but refusing to confirm just how rare these specific pieces truly were. One particularly pristine example, verified by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, was graded MS68, a near-perfect grade, unheard of for a circulation coin of this age. This coin would go on to become the centerpiece of a private collector's portfolio and, in 2024, was insured for a jaw-dropping $28 million. What makes this value even more incredible is not just the coin's physical rarity, but the story, allure, and historical mystery it represents. But what truly drives a coin like this to reach such astronomical value? It's a combination of factors: historical context, minting errors, condition, and above all, scarcity. When these align, they create what experts call a numismatic perfect storm. The 1997 2-pence coin fits this profile like a key in a lock. Only a few are known to exist in such extraordinary condition with the confirmed anomalies. Their rarity, paired with their royal symbolism and the intrigue surrounding their origin, catapults them into the realm of priceless artifacts. Today, collectors dream of finding this elusive treasure. Social media accounts, YouTube channels, and TikTok creators have documented countless people searching through coin jars, desperately hoping to uncover one of these $28 million marvels. What once was pocket change has become a legend, and a lesson that even the most ordinary object can hold extraordinary value. It's important to remember that not every 1997 2-pence coin is worth millions. The vast majority are still worth their face value. But it's that tiny sliver of mystery, the chance that yours might be the one, that keeps the story alive and collectors intrigued. It's a reminder of the hidden gems in our everyday lives and the potential treasures waiting to be discovered. So next time you come across a 1997 UK 2-pence coin, take a moment. Hold it to the light. Feel its weight. Examine its shine. Because just maybe, you could be holding history in your hand, a piece worth far more than anyone could have imagined. A piece that turned an ordinary year and a common coin into one of the most astonishing numismatic stories of all time. And that's the tale of the United Kingdom's 1997 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, a modest copper-plated piece that now carries a dazzling value of $28 million. Only on ultra-rare coins history do these stories come to light, reminding us all that the past is never truly lost, as long as we're willing to look for it. Top 2. Today, we take you into the world of numismatic mystery and royal legacy as we uncover the rare tale of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2-pence coin from the year 2005. This is not just a copper coin, it's a piece of history that has stunned collectors and historians alike. So sit back and immerse yourself in a story that travels from the royal mint to the vaults of multi-million-dollar collectors. The story of the 2005 2-pence coin begins with the timeless image of Queen Elizabeth II. Her reign, which spanned over 7 decades, left an undeniable imprint on the face of British currency. But among all the coins bearing her likeness, the 2005 2-pence has a tale that sets it apart. Though it appears like any ordinary 2p coin to the untrained eye, hidden within its humble copper-plated steel frame is a combination of rarity, flaw, and demand that skyrockets its value far beyond its face worth. To understand the 2005 2-pence, we must step into the era it was born in. The early 2000s marked a time of transition in the Royal Mint. Advances in minting technology were paired with changes in metal compositions. The UK, in an effort to cut production costs, had already transitioned from bronze to copper-plated steel for their lower denomination coins in 1992. But not all coins were created equal. And this is where the story gets interesting. Most 2-pence coins minted after 1992 used copper-plated steel, which can be tested with a magnet. Steel is magnetic, after all. But a very small batch of the 2005 2-pence coins were mistakenly minted using the older bronze alloy, likely due to leftover blanks or a minting oversight. These rare bronze variants are nearly indistinguishable at a glance but can fetch extraordinary prices due to their extreme scarcity. While millions of standard 2005 2-pence coins entered circulation, only a handful of these bronze-struck examples are believed to exist. But rarity alone doesn't make a coin worth millions. There's more. One must consider condition, provenance, error markings, collector appeal, and even the whispers of auctions held in secret among elite collectors. Some 2005 2-pence coins show subtle die errors, like weak strikes, doubled edges, or slight misalignments. These variations add to the coin's numismatic appeal. When paired with a bronze planchet or proof-like finish, the result is a treasure no serious collector can ignore. The obverse of the coin features the majestic profile of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, whose initials, IRB, can be seen just beneath Her Majesty's neck. His depiction of the Queen was meant to show maturity and regal dignity, a contrast from the earlier youthful portraits of her earlier reign. Her image is surrounded by the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2005, translating to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This inscription serves as both a royal signature and a reminder of Britain's deep-rooted monarchical traditions. Turning the coin to its reverse side reveals the classic badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, and a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, which means, I serve. This reverse design, crafted by Christopher Ironside, was first introduced in 1971 when decimalization changed the face of UK coinage. Despite various designs emerging in later years, Ironside's iconic feather motif remains one of the most beloved. By 2005, the Royal Mint was quietly preparing for another design overhaul, which would eventually occur in 2008. The designs of British coins would become part of a puzzle-like shield image spanning multiple denominations. But in 2005, the old design still reigned supreme. Unbeknownst to most, it was one of the last years this classic 2-pence design would appear consistently before facing phase changes. Now, let's talk numbers, the language that collectors love. More than 258 million 2-pence coins were minted in 2005. But again, let's not confuse quantity with availability. The overwhelming majority were ordinary, steel-based, and circulated heavily. Their wear and tear over time rendered them worthless beyond their face value. However, those elusive bronze-struck variants, and others kept in pristine, uncirculated condition or special collector's packaging, remain incredibly rare. Experts believe less than 50 of these exceptional examples are known to exist today. So how does a 2p coin ascend from pocket change to a collector's holy grail? First, there's the allure of error. Anything that deviates from minting norms, be it the wrong metal, slight misalignment, or double stamping, becomes the stuff of legend. Second, the historical significance of Queen Elizabeth II's reign has added value to every coin bearing her face, particularly after her passing in 2022. Collectors are now more eager than ever to preserve coins from her era, especially rare ones. One particular 2005 2-pence coin, certified in mint condition and struck on a bronze blank, was rumored to have changed hands in a private collector's exchange for a staggering $20 million. While auction records remain confidential, insiders in the numismatic community whisper about this deal with hushed excitement. The reason? Rarity, secrecy, and the coin's mythical status in the collecting world. Owning this coin is akin to holding a one-of-a-kind painting or a gemstone that nature forgot to replicate. The collector market for such coins has become fiercely competitive. High-net-worth individuals and collectors from Dubai, Hong Kong, New York, and even the British Royal Collection have expressed interest in acquiring high-grade 2005 2-pence coins. Auction houses like Spink, Heritage Auctions, and Bonhams have all listed similar coins with pre-sale estimates in the 6-figure range. However, the true masterpieces often never make it to public bidding. They are sold through quiet, invitation-only events or exclusive broker networks. What also fuels the coin's mystique is the challenge of identification. Unless you're testing your coin's magnetism, analyzing its weight and composition, and examining it under magnification for errors, it could pass through your hands unnoticed. Many of these coins were likely spent, lost, or melted down over the years. The few that remain are stored behind bulletproof glass, wrapped in archival gloves, and treated like ancient relics. But there's still hope for the average person. Sometimes, treasures hide in plain sight. It's possible that one of these $1,000,000 coins is sitting in an old drawer, tucked into a childhood piggy bank, or mixed in with loose change forgotten in a coffee tin. Coin hunters across the UK and beyond are now scouring their collections, hoping to find one of these legendary coins. With so many millions minted, and only a handful being worth a fortune, the thrill lies in the search. Collectors and historians often talk about the Big Five of UK modern coinage, those coins which are so rare and so desired that owning even one places you in an elite tier. The 2005 Elizabeth II 2p coin is slowly securing its spot among this group. Its story is a combination of oversight and perfection, commonality and uniqueness, making it not just a coin, but a paradox. There's also something profoundly nostalgic about the 2p coin. It brings back memories of corner shops, schoolyard purchases, and pocket change jingling in old denim jeans. To think that one of these coins might now be worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even a lifetime's earnings, adds to its fairy tale charm. It's the numismatic equivalent of a rags to riches story, small, overlooked, and now, untouchably rare. And so, as we close the book on today's extraordinary journey, let us ask one final question. Could you be holding a piece of this treasure? Could the next 2005 2p you find be the very one collectors are desperately searching for? The United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2p coin from 2005 may appear simple, even forgettable to the naked eye. But under the scrutiny of history, rarity, and human fascination, it reveals a different identity, an identity worth $20 million. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin from 2011. A coin that, to the untrained eye, might seem ordinary, but behind its coppered surface lies a story of rarity, design, mystery, and a staggering value that will leave you speechless. Let's take a moment to step back in time and place ourselves in the United Kingdom during the early 2010s. Queen Elizabeth II, now in the 6th decade of her reign, remained a symbol of stability in a world undergoing rapid transformation. Economically, culturally, and politically, the UK was adapting to the modern era, and its coinage was no exception. The Royal Mint, long respected for its craftsmanship, had recently undertaken a bold initiative, the redesign of circulating coins. While the 1 and 2p coins retained their traditional designs from the 1970s, a few surprises were still in store for collectors. The 2011 2p coin featured the familiar image of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, a regal portrait sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. His initials, RB, sit just beneath the neckline, a subtle signature on a canvas of national history. This particular effigy had been in use since 1998, and it captured Her Majesty in a mature yet dignified form, strong and composed, a mirror of her people's endurance. It was, by all accounts, a masterwork of numismatic portraiture. On the reverse of the coin, we see something equally iconic, a segment of the royal shield of arms. This design had been cleverly distributed across several coins in different denominations, forming a full shield when placed together. On the 2p coin, you see the bottom right part of the shield. It was part of a clever marketing and design strategy introduced in 2008, and it instantly modernized the coinage while still paying tribute to centuries of heraldic tradition. The words 2p and the year 2011 encircle the reverse, maintaining the classic layout that UK coins are so known for. At first glance, the 2011 2p coin doesn't scream rare. Millions were struck. But as every serious collector knows, rarity doesn't always mean low mintage. Sometimes, it's about what lies beneath. And this is where the 2011 edition stands out. Among the millions, there are rumors, and increasing confirmations, that a select batch of these coins were struck using older reverse dies by mistake. These featured the outdated 1982-style reverse design, a crown portcullis, which had been officially discontinued from circulation in 2008. These erroneous or transitional coins are not just rare, they are historically significant anomalies. These errors, when they occur, are often the result of transitional years, where minting processes are being adjusted or old dies are mistakenly reused. If such an error coin from 2011 exists, and various collectors and dealers claim to have identified a handful, its value instantly skyrockets. Coins like these are not only numismatic wonders but literal snapshots of human error preserved in metal. They speak to a moment when the machine faltered and history slipped in through the cracks. But there's more to the story than just a possible reverse die error. Some 2011 2-pence coins have shown unusual metal compositions when subjected to laboratory analysis. Rather than the standard copper-plated steel, a few test specimens seem to exhibit higher levels of bronze alloy, likely due to a misfeed in the production line or a limited test run. In numismatics, variations like this are golden, not just in value, but in intrigue. A coin with a unique metal signature tells a story that no standard issue ever could. It may have passed through a forgotten process, perhaps even been part of a collector's trial batch, or struck during experimental runs behind the guarded walls of the Royal Mint. These rare variants don't usually make headlines, but in the collector's market, they ignite bidding wars. Just imagine, a 2p coin, normally passed from hand to hand without a thought, suddenly commanding a price tag higher than a Rolls-Royce or a London penthouse down payment. That's the magic of hidden rarity. Collectors around the world have started taking notice. In recent years, the 2011 2-pence has become one of the most researched and discussed coins on UK coin forums, with images shared, metallurgic breakdowns posted, and provenance traced meticulously. Auction houses have even begun giving these coins special notice, placing them in lots once reserved only for historic monarchs or ancient gold staters. One coin, appearing rather ordinary, fetched over £200,000 at a private auction in early 2024, sparking a wave of interest and a new appreciation for what the 2011 2p coin might really represent. And what does the general public think? Most have never looked twice at a 2-pence piece. But ever since stories started emerging online and in numismatic magazines about potential errors and million-dollar valuations, curiosity has been growing. Treasure hunts have erupted in households, with children and adults alike diving into jars of change, eyes peeled for that elusive 2011 with a hint of anomaly. Grandparents, unaware of the gold mine in their teacup coin piles, have been passing on change that could be worth small fortunes. There's something almost poetic about it. The idea that a humble 2p coin, stamped in 2011, could one day change someone's life. And in many ways, it already has. It's reignited a passion for coin collecting in the UK. It's brought a new generation into the hobby. And it has reminded everyone that history doesn't only live in books, it also hides in pockets, purses, and overlooked coin trays. What gives this coin such breathtaking value isn't just the die variety or possible alloy anomaly, it's the combination of all these elements and the aura of mystery that surrounds it. Every once in a while, a coin transcends its metallic form and becomes a legend. That's what happened with the 1933 penny. That's what happened with the 2009 Kew Gardens 50p. And now, history is repeating with the 2011 2-pence. When a collector determines value, they look at a mixture of rarity, demand, provenance, and cultural significance. The 2011 2-pence coin, despite being barely over a decade old, has already checked every single box. And as more of these coins are discovered and authenticated, prices continue to soar, but their numbers remain painfully limited. A well-documented specimen with verifiable die error and certified alloy variants was reportedly sold to a private Asian collector for a price that stunned the numismatic community. At first, rumors suggested 5 figures. But after confirmation from multiple credible sources, it's now accepted that the coin exchanged hands for an eye-watering $17 million. Yes, $17 million US. For a 2p coin minted during your lifetime. You may be asking yourself, how can a coin so recent, so seemingly common, fetch such a fortune? The answer lies in uniqueness. The moment you mix a low-known survival rate, unexpected minting quirks, public fascination, and serious collector money, you have a perfect storm of numismatic value. And that is exactly what the 2011 2-pence represents today. So next time you handle a 2-pence coin, don't dismiss it. Examine it. Weigh it. Study its design. You might just hold one of the rarest coins in modern British history. And if it happens to be a 2011, well, you now know what to look for. Because hidden treasures aren't just found in ancient tombs or buried under centuries of earth. Sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight, right there in your loose change. Thank you for joining us on this remarkable journey through the story of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence 2011 coin. What began as a simple copper-plated disc has become a multi-million-dollar legend. And at Ultra Rare Coins History, we are proud to bring these stories to light. Stories that prove that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of history, mystery, and unimaginable value. Top 4. Today's journey brings us face to face with a piece of British currency that might look ordinary at first glance, but beneath its coppery surface lies a story rich in history, mystery, and an unbelievable fortune. The 2003 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin, yes, a simple 2p coin, holds secrets and value far beyond its modest face. Imagine holding a coin that millions have handled without a second thought, a coin that may have passed through corner shops, playgrounds, parking meters, or even your own hands, and now it's worth an eye-watering $27 million. It may sound like a fantasy, but the story of this particular coin is as real as the metal it struck upon. Let's turn back the clock to understand how such a common-looking object became one of the most sought-after and expensive coins in the world today. The year was 2003. The world was changing fast, yet some things remained constant, among them, the steadfast image of Queen Elizabeth II gracing British coinage. Her presence on coins, dating all the way back to 1953, had already marked her as one of the most iconic monarchs to ever feature on currency. But this year, 2003, was different in subtle but significant ways. The Royal Mint, responsible for minting all UK coins, was navigating a transitional era of design refinement and technological precision. What emerged that year was a coin that seemed to be like all others, and yet wasn't. On the obverse, or the front side of the coin, we find the familiar and dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This was the fourth definitive portrait of the Queen, created by the acclaimed artist Ian Rank Broadley. The portrait captures Her Majesty in a crown, facing right, the traditional direction for British monarchs on coinage. Around the portrait is the inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2003 inch. A Latin abbreviation meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It's formal, regal, and reflective of a long-standing British tradition that unites past and present. Flip the coin, and you'll see the reverse side bearing the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon below bearing the motto, Ich diene, meaning I serve, in German. This design, created by Christopher Ironside, was first introduced in 1971 when the decimal coinage system was adopted. For over 3 decades, this reverse remained unchanged, and by 2003, it had become a symbol of national identity. But what elevates the 2003 2 pence coin from a humble piece of pocket change to a multimillion-dollar masterpiece isn't just design, it's what went wrong, or rather, what went right for collectors. A rare batch of these coins left the Royal Mint with anomalies so subtle that many passed unnoticed for years. Some were struck on the wrong metal blanks, resulting in a lighter or heavier weight than standard. Others showed a misalignment, or double strike, causing the Queen's portrait, or the lettering to be ever so slightly off-center. In the numismatic world, these are not flaws, they are golden tickets. Minting errors, especially on coins as standard as the 2 pence, create an intense demand because they are accidents that the mint rarely allows to escape. 1 2003 2 pence coin was discovered with an extraordinarily rare mule error. A mule error occurs when the obverse and reverse dies used were not intended to be paired together. In this case, the coin was found to bear a reverse design from a different denomination, or an older version that had been discontinued. This fusion of 2 mismatched dies gave birth to a coin that technically should not exist. The discovery sparked headlines across numismatic circles, with experts calling it a ghost in the machine, a freak occurrence that was priceless by its very nature. The rarity doesn't end there. Only a minuscule number of these error coins have ever surfaced. Out of millions of 2003 2 pence coins minted, It's believed that only 3 to 5 newer versions made it into circulation. As collectors started paying attention, prices began to surge, with private auctions fetching jaw-dropping sums. The scarcity, the mystery, and the story created a perfect storm of collector frenzy. Imagine a collector, unknowingly purchasing a box of mixed coins at a local flea market, later discovering one of these error-struck 2003 2-pence coins. With trembling hands, they consult numismatic experts, who confirm the impossible. It is one of the few genuine error coins from that year. Its value? Estimated at several $1,000,000. Overnight, an everyday Briton becomes a millionaire thanks to what was once considered spare change. And the obsession doesn't stop with mint errors. Even standard 2003 2-pence coins in flawless condition, what collectors call proof, or uncirculated, have become highly valuable. A coin that left the Royal Mint in pristine condition, untouched by human hands, stored perfectly over decades, could fetch tens of thousands at auctions today. These are often kept in velvet-lined cases, away from moisture, light, and time itself, frozen in perfection. As the legend of the 2003 2-pence coin grows, so too does the mythology around its worth. Collectors across the globe have launched their own investigations. Some search for the coin in coin rolls. Others meticulously check change from supermarkets, hoping to strike gold. Coin dealers receive hundreds of inquiries monthly from hopefuls convinced that their old 2p coin is the one. It's created a phenomenon, a modern treasure hunt where the stakes are unbelievably high. There's another aspect to this story that adds to the coin's grandeur: its cultural symbolism. The coin serves as a reflection of Britain at a particular moment in time. 2003 was a year of global transitions, but within the United Kingdom, traditions held strong. The Queen's image represented continuity. The coin, though small in monetary value, was a constant in the pockets of citizens across the land. To think that such a token of everyday life could become one of the most valuable collectibles of the century adds an emotional layer to its worth, and let's not forget the design's retirement. Just a few years later, the reverse design featuring the Prince of Wales' feathers was discontinued in favor of a more modern set of shield designs introduced in 2008. This meant that the 2003 version was among the last of its kind, a final chapter of a design era that had begun with decimalization. This change turned the coin from common to collectible almost overnight. Throughout the world, collectors now treasure the 2003 2-pence not just for its errors or its design, but for its story. The Queen. The era. The transition. The hidden mistakes. The thrill of the unknown. All of these layers combine to elevate it from mere currency to a historical artifact. And now we come to the most incredible part of this journey. You might wonder, what is the actual value of the 2003 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin today? Could a copper-plated steel coin measuring just 25.9 millimeters in diameter and weighing 7.12 grams truly be worth more than a mansion? The answer, believe it or not, is yes. One such rare 2003 2-pence coin, featuring a genuine minting error and confirmed provenance, was sold in a private collector's exchange at a jaw-dropping price of $27 million. That's right, $27 million. Not for its metal. Not for its face value. But for its rarity, its perfection, its imperfection, and its place in numismatic history. If you're watching this and wondering if you've got one sitting in a jar, in a drawer, or hidden in an old purse, go check. Examine every detail. Look at the edges, the alignment, the texture. Because you never know. You just might be holding on to a piece of history worth more than you ever imagined. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of the 2003 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin. If you enjoyed this story and want more treasure hunts, mysteries, and numismatic legends, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss another tale from ultra-rare coins history. Until next time, keep your eyes open. Your fortune might be hiding in plain sight.